brick walls to dingy green dumpsters, narrow back alleys, and shadowy sidewalks.
This is the first time I've ever done a mural or any type of project this big.
Denver's streets are dripping with urban swag. Murals of all shapes and sizes by artists from all walks of life.
Anybody doing public art, especially now, is standing on the shoulders of giants.
These guys.
It's roughly 30 to 35 feet high.
Tall or small, behind every mural, there's a message, a reason why it's there. And these larger-than-life portraits are no different.
So these are local graffiti artists that have passed away.
But the story behind this one is a picture that can't be painted because it's a shade of dark. Colors can't match.
Chris was born June 13, 1980, and that was the happiest day of my life.
A day that's now too tough to think about.
Sorry.
Christopher Gomez.
I ended up burying him 2 days after his birthday.
Was 37 years old.
I have good days, I have bad days. But when I come see him, I feel complete.
A loving father, brother, and son.
It's hard for me to come. I never thought I'd have to do this.
To his fans, though, he was Scape.
Like, you couldn't talk about Denver graffiti without bringing up his name.
Known for hitting big walls, trash cans, and train cars with his signature tag.
There's certain parts of Denver where you couldn't go like literally half a block without seeing something.
His brother Mike says art was his passion, even though the pieces he did were all illegal.
And he actually got caught right after this photo.
The two of them were always together.
Me and Chris were pretty much sidekicks. We were 3 years apart.
Even at the beginning of Chris's end.
He had suffered an ACL tear. I wasn't there with him.
A skateboarding accident back in 2001. Chris needed surgery to fix it.
That's when it all started.
And medicine to fix the pain.
They did give him a substantial amount of, I want to say it was Oxycontin at that point.
A routine painkiller that became a routine for Chris.
I remember him saying that he liked the way it made him feel. So after, months of him not needing it anymore, he still was taking it.
Months?
And when Oxy wasn't available, it was Percocet, it was Vicodin, it was other things to kind of cope.
Turned into years.
He was getting it on the streets.
The same streets where he painted, and the streets where he eventually found heroin too.
I can always tell when he was on it, because he would instantly turn into a zombie.
Chris became an addict.
I never thought I'd have to go through this with my son.
Because she went through it too.
I was doing cocaine, okay. Then someone got me started on crack cocaine.
She eventually beat it.
I've been clean and sober 13 years.
And thought she could help Chris beat it too.
Because he wanted the help, but there's just no help out there, period. Unless you have money.
They say ridiculous amounts, $32,000, $8,000, $6,000.
I didn't have that kind of money.
In Colorado, around 80% of people who want help fighting an addiction can't get it because costs are too high and federal funding too low.
Mom, he goes, I don't want to die, I don't want to OD. He goes, I want to see my kids grow up.
They eventually found one program. They say it's the only one that would take him.
He was ready to go. He had his bags packed and everything.
He just had to make it through the weekend.
He came into my work and I happened to look up and he was walking out and he turned around and he winked at me. And that was the last time I seen my son.
Chris died May 29th of a heroin overdose.
And he was found in an alley on 29th and Curtis.
Just blocks from where he now watches over the same city streets that stole him.
I want his story out there because you guys need to look around and see all the people that are struggling with this addiction. It's a bad, bad epidemic.
560 Coloradans died from opioid overdose in 2017. Some are even buried right alongside Chris.
Chris, I love you, Angel, and I want you to rest peacefully. And Mom's gonna fight for you. and fight for everybody else that is going through this problem.
When you see his grave and the memorials his fans have splashed across Denver's walls, it doesn't paint his whole picture.
He was much more than his addiction.
Those darkest details are missing because the message,
Like, he would always tell people to do better, like, you know, just push people to do better.
Chris's message, is meant to be brighter. Ashley Michaels, Fox 31.